All right, welcome back to the Parkour UK podcast. We are here today with Jordan Morillo, Adelina Salvador, and my fantastic co-host, our head of development at Parkour UK, Nadine Barnard. How's everyone doing?
All good.
Well,
Perfect.
I'd hope so. I'm doing great. All right. So we'll start off how we tend to start off. I'll start with Jordan first because I believe you started parkour first.
yeah.
How did you get into our fantastic sport?
Well, I watched this movie, District 13.
Banlieue
With-
13 in French, District 13. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So I always wanted to do parkour, but I never knew the way to start. So I just quit on the idea of doing it. So one day I was on a school, and I was in the high school and my English class. Yeah. So our English teacher, she told us that we have to do a trailer of a movie in English. So we decided with one of my friends to do it about a Marvel movie. But he wasn't my friend. He was my, how you say, like my enemy.
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't my friend. He was my enemy, and we became best friends when we realized that we both wanted to start to doing parkour. So we decided to do parkour on the movie, on the trailer. So that's how we started into parkour, like because of homework in our school.
Basically.
Yeah. So then we together decide like, oh, we should go train more often, like together and that. We find out on Google like they made like here like super trainings on weekends.
Yep.
So they have the same thing in Madrid back in the days before. So we went to one of these sessions, but they told us that they are not doing that anymore. But we find one guy training solo, like alone, making his lines, and we asked him like, "Hey, bro, we can join you, or you can teach us how to train." But we were super like shy to ask him about that. But he was super nice, and he told us like, "Yes, come, I can show you how to do these things and that." And he introduced us like more people. And
So that was in Madrid, right?
Yeah, that was in
where
Madrid.
you grew up. But you're originally from Ecuador, correct?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
When
I
did you
born
move?
When I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, with my mom, because my dad went to Spain, and he met another woman, and then my mom decided to move together. Like,
I respect it.
yeah. So
Enough of that.
I moved with my mom and my sister. We went to Spain. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
with my father there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I met your sister at the party. She was lovely.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So how did you two meet?
You
By
can tell her.
Instagram.
Okay.
I remember, so in that time, I knew already what is parkour. And I was going this mythical spot in Roquetas de Mar. It's in Almeria, where the people, they were training.
Is that in south of Spain or?
Yeah, it's south of Spain.
Okay.
So there were like a couple of guys that they was training parkour. And in that moment, I remember I saw one video of Jordan doing parkour. I think in that moment, it was 2015 in that moment.
Wow.
And I don't know how I find his Instagram. To be honest, I think he was following someone from my city or something, so he appeared and I saw his videos and I said like, oh, it's so interesting guy.
Yeah,
So
you
I write a
stalked him.
message to him like, I write a message to him like, oh, how are you and everything, but you can imagine, yeah. And I was asking him like, you doing parkour? What you doing? Where you doing? And he told me that he's from Madrid, and I was like, oh, yeah. And in that moment, he was planning a trip with his friend
Yeah,
to
was
my city.
a big coincidence because we already bought the tickets to go Almeria that summer, and she told me I'm from Almeria, and I was like, no way, this is it's not possible.
It's meant to be.
Yeah, it's like the universe working, you know.
So I don't know. In that moment when he came, I hosted him. So it was quite difficult because I told to my mom, like, I know one friend from Madrid. And my mom was like, which friend from Madrid? If you have 13 years old and you've never been in Madrid, what you saying? Like, doesn't make any sense. So I told to her, like, but it's a friend. So she said, like, okay, but you're going to host them, both of them, because he came with his friend. And I told
You know,
him,
Danny.
Yeah.
Danny TPK.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
So Madrid guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Does he
yeah.
still train?
Yeah, yeah. Still
Okay,
training.
okay.
So yeah, I host them both. But my mom in the beginning, she thought that I like his friend. Because I let him sleep in my room, but I was more interested on him. So in that moment, I host him. He been in my house like for 3 days, and they did the tour and everything. So in that moment we wasn't like thinking to be like, I don't know, together.
Yeah, because I was in love with another girl.
Yeah.
I
was
wasn't.
the interruption.
I wasn't interested in Adelina. Like she was every day like writing me, annoying me like by message, and I was telling her
Guys,
like
I'm gonna be red now.
I was telling her like, wait, stop! You are not my mom, because she was always asking me, where are you? Why you don't reply? And I was in love with another girl. I wasn't like. I didn't like Adelina in that moment, until I went to Almeria and I met her, and then everything changed.
Okay. Oh, that's such a cool
That's
story.
super crazy, man.
Yeah.
And your mum was okay with just hosting 2 random guys.
Yeah. She hosts them because she believed me. And like at that time, like, okay, if they come in, because also after that, I went to his house with my mom after that summer. And they meet each other, like his mom and my mom as well. So that was more like serious.
Yeah.
And that's it. But in that moment, I wasn't doing parkour at all. Like I just like it, like to see how
She
the
was
people...
just a random girl from Instagram.
Yeah. But you had an interest in it.
Yeah. So
Okay. This is like 10 years ago as well now.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So did you think you were going to do parkour, or
I was trying to do like some jumps because
Yeah.
I was looking at them and it was like interesting as well. But by myself, I never like did parkour or tried to do parkour because I was like shy as well. I was, to be honest, the only woman in that moment but I knew that it's interesting on parkour. But was more women, right?
No, in
Almeria?
Spain,
Or
in
no?
that moment, like we're like 1 or 2 girls only training.
Wow. In all of Spain.
Yeah, in all of Spain,
Wow.
like they were like.
So it was like
Not that
so like I was shy. I didn't know like if it's really like sport for me or something. So I was just doing some couple of jumps with Jordan when he was coming to Almeria, and he knew that I have potential.
Yeah,
But
yeah. She definitely has. Like she was super nice. I do remember. Always one of my weakness in parkour is standing press, and she never trained parkour before, and she has almost the same distance when I do standing press. So it was like, no way, she's really good. She had a lot of potential. She must train more often. And I told her like, you should practice more and that.
Yeah, but basically it's how we met.
So when did you get into practicing more then?
So more when I moved to Madrid. Because all the years what I was living in Almeria, I was with my parents and everything. So Jordan, he was coming and living all the time, and we had like too many months what we wasn't together and everything. So I didn't train, like I didn't denominate like I was training parkour. So when I moved to Madrid and he was training,
When did you move? How old were you?
in 2019.
2019. Okay.
So in that moment. Also, he was working like a parkour trainer
When?
in La Gavia.
Oh yeah.
So he was working.
Parkour
and he
coach.
Outdoor coach.
Parkour coach.
You were doing outdoor classes?
Yeah.
In La
outdoor
Gavia.
classes,
Okay.
yeah. Outdoor and indoor in a gym.
Okay.
Both of them.
So I used to go like to see him how he's teaching, but there was like kids and everything. But I don't know. In that moment, I start to do like the classes as well. I'm everywhere. Always.
I'll get away.
Persistent. I respect it. Yeah.
So I started to do the parkour like in his classes and everything, and then I realized that I like it and was like a good opportunity as well. And I don't know. That's how basically I start and to be more interested because I was feeling more confident as well, more stronger because I was doing like this parkour exercises what he was showing to the other guys and everything. So yeah, it was like low level parkour and.
But you were consistently doing it at that point.
Yeah.
Were there any other women training around that time in Madrid?
So I tried, to be honest, to introduce parkour to all my friends, but it was quite difficult because their lifestyle, it's not like very sportive. So they were like, okay, I can go with you. So I was taking my friends with me just to don't be like shy in the street training or something. But to be honest, the first like with the woman, what I did parkour and I start to be more stronger and take more technique and everything was with Steffi.
In Madrid.
Yes.
Yeah, Steffi from Colombia. She's a world champion actually in speed. Yeah, absolute beast of an athlete. I made a documentary with her back in the day. Yeah. So when was that you started training with her?
It was like in 2020 before to move to London.
That's when she moved to Madrid? Is it?
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
Colombia?
no, from Colombia, no.
No,
from
Valencia.
she was from
No, she's not.
Albacete.
Albacete. Yeah, she
Yeah.
grew up there. She has Spanish citizenship.
So
Yeah,
she
okay.
moved to Madrid,
That's right. I
and
should know that.
she was training in a gym where was her trainer.
She was
as
a
well.
coach as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she was recovering from the injury as well.
Yep.
So we were like training because she was starting to training again. So I was taking the level as well, and we were training slowly in the gym, outdoors as well. So she was the first woman of the community what I was training like.
And you were doing like gym stuff with her and parkour?
Yeah.
Because she's a weapon in the gym. She does
Yeah.
powerlifting, everything. What was it like training with her? Because, I mean, it must have been quite inspirational. In my opinion, she's one of the strongest women in the sport. Like, she's unbelievable, I think.
Yeah, and she's very consistent as well. And she have a lot of discipline because she's always training. There is no any other thing.
Yeah.
And was it just the two of you training together?
I mean, yeah, in Madrid in that time, I think it's there
Later,
after that. I meet with one girl, what she came from Italy, like in Europe they
Erasmus.
have like the Erasmus.
Yeah.
So she came from Italy to just study in Spain, and we meet in Freedom, the gym.
Freedom Academy, you know.
Freedom Academy, the gym.
The parkour gym.
The parkour gym, the only parkour gym in Madrid.
The small one with like the big tower and the foam pit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
So they did like a competition, like speed competition. And I was like in that moment preparing for speed competitions. So we did the competition and I meet with her because she was like the only woman what were in the queue. And I told to her, oh, you're doing parkour, are you from here? Like I never saw you before. And she said like, no, I'm from Italy. And we met, and after that we were training like every day
Together.
in the mornings, in the afternoons, every day parkour. So it was the two only girls what I was training in Madrid, to be honest. Like,
You just need that one training partner. We had Flora on the podcast recently. She was talking about that as well. Once you get that one person, like it's so good.
yeah, after that, this Italian girl, she left again. So it was super hard.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about as well the dynamic of what's it like for you guys training together, like as a couple, like doing parkour together. How does it compare to training on your own? Like what's the dynamic like? It's quite a unique situation.
I think we don't train together like train, because
Like the same jumps.
no. Like when we go training, it is most of the times like I'm teaching Adelina how to do some stuffs.
Okay.
Because she doesn't have the same level as me, we never have the same challenge. So when we go out together, most of the time I'm trying to teach her how to do something properly, how she can improve and that things, But we don't came out to train together like I go with Danny, for example. It's different. I think always I try to help her or spot her, but I think
he's more like he's finding, to be honest, the challenges for me, and and he showed me the way how I can make it.
So he takes on more of a coaching role.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Sometimes like in the warm-ups we're doing together.
Yeah, the warm-ups, yes.
But yeah, basically when he's jumping, or for example he have a challenge, so I'm more like I'm spotting him, or like
supporting me most of the times as well. Because I like to try like send it.
Big jumps.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
possible that she tried to follow me in that way.
Yeah, of course.
So it's
But
hard.
so
I can
what?
film.
Yeah. She always helped me with that. Yeah.
But so what's it like for you in London now? Because we have a good community of women training in London. Do you get? Are you able to train like with them and like at XXL Sunday sessions and well, yeah, what's it like for you training with women who are like at a similar level?
So when I came here to London in the beginning, I didn't know nobody like who was training. But now, for example, it's super easy to train like with not just women, everybody. But like specifically with women, it's a lot of women what they do parkour. So it's good because it's a lot of levels. It's good level, low level, all levels. It doesn't matter. We're gonna train together. So in the beginning was quite difficult for me because my English was like more basic. So I was a bit shy to come to them, to speak with them and everything. So, but parkour is like international language. So
Yeah.
everybody who's doing parkour, they connect with each other. So yeah, in the beginning, I was training in this Super XL. And after that, I'm just training with everyone.
Yeah. But
And now even we go. I don't know if you know about the group of femgaps.
that's right. No, I'd like you to tell us about that. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I think so. I'm not sure, but I think that was like Wichel's and Isabel idea to like connect the women of London's like parkour community and make like a kind of a group for show like that there is a connection as well and good level of parkour in London. That if we train like separate, maybe nobody knows that. But if we connect,
You train together.
yeah.
So are you guys so that's Fem Gaps it's called, correct?
Yeah.
And so you guys are working on some video projects or
So basically, not me at the moment because I was injured, but they are filming for Instagram and it's gonna be like YouTube videos as well, but not like blogs. It's more like this kind of videos where you do parkour, but just parkour.
Old
like-
style
Yeah,
videos.
old style parkour.
like an action edit. So saving clips for an
Yeah.
action video.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So it's more that kind of idea.
And so you guys have started saving clips already for
Yeah. We're doing like every week, like the recompilation of the clips, and they doing like the videos for Instagram. I'm not sure about the how do you say
YouTube.
the YouTube videos because also it's Wicho what he gonna let us film
Yeah.
with the camera and everything.
Oh,
so
cool. Yeah,
I
this is
think that idea it's like for more later, but
okay.
for now it's like more in Instagram to make us like introduced to the
Yeah,
world.
to introduce
it.
That's cool. This is we'll definitely get Witchell on at some point. This is David Witchell who we're talking about, who is a big player in like the Super XXL sort of Sundays, but he's also the guy who started and is like the leader of the Yard project, which is the undercover spot where we always train at in London, which is a big
Yeah.
thing. And he's super community focused, hosts a lot of people, and seems to be helping to lead this project with Isabella, who we call Big Nige, who trains parkour, and it was his girlfriend. Yeah, no, that's super cool. I wanted to also ask, you guys moved to London when, like a year ago now, 2 years ago?
2 years and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone quick.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so I'd like to, let's compare obviously Madrid is considered one of, if not the best cities for parkour in Europe. So is London, right? So let's compare them a bit. How did the spots, the community, the weather? Well, Madrid probably got the weather, but also just quality of life, because obviously you come over here and work and stuff as well. What are the big differences between the two cities?
Well, that's a hard question.
It's a big question.
It's a big question.
Yeah.
So I think like I can start with the community thing because I think it's one of the strongest things that make me came to live here and not in Spain. Because as you know, I told you a lot of times, the parkour community in Spain is like close mind. They have a really close mind. So I do remember when I came for first time to live in the UK and back in 2018 was
Yeah,
Yeah, how long were you
2018.
here for that time? Because that's
8
when we
months.
first met.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay,
when we first
okay,
met,
yeah.
It was in 2018. I've been here for 8 months.
Just you or both of you?
No, just
No,
me.
just him.
Okay.
Just me.
Okay.
So that time, I remember when I came here for first time, and the people were so nice because I used to do like crazy jumps before, and everyone was when I fall, everyone was, oh, well done, try again, stand up and try again. It's okay, nothing happened, yeah.
In London,
But
people
in
like
London
that.
people,
Yep.
But if I try some jumps in Spain, everyone was like, oh no, you don't gonna last like 10 years training parkour. You should quit. You shouldn't have done that.
Wow.
That's so bad. Like everyone was, and I do remember I have a lot of hate about the big water thing because in 2015 maybe I have a big fall and I get injured because I broke my lip, my head. Do you remember the video when I was trying a concrete? I hit my knees
In
and I landed on
Barcelona.
the stairs.
Yeah, it was a bad one. Yeah.
Then all the community in Spain, after a year of that jump, they started to laughing on me. Like they become like it could be called bully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So they treat me super bad, and all my friends also. They treat bad to my friends. So every time that we try a new jam, they were like, "You should stop doing that. That's crazy. That's dangerous."
Do you think that was out of concern though?
What do you mean, like a
Whether do you think they wanted you to stop because they were worried you were going to hurt yourself more?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think so because it's different here. Everyone wanted to try new jams. So everyone were so super nice with me and with everything that I do or I try. I do remember Max, for example. I think we have the same kind of mindset when we
Yeah.
try to do some jumps. I do remember when the first time I met Max, he was trying to do a big side flip from one wall to a
Tree stump.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do remember I met Max and that day I was trying to do the double con on over.
Yeah.
Over, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I feel that he has the same mindset as me,
Yeah,
and we became
yeah.
friends super fast, super
Yeah.
easy, and that's what I like from London, you know. But in Spain, the people they had another mindset in that times, and I do remember a lot of messages I used to have on my Instagram. One of the guys, like maybe 3 years ago, still, he told me, "Tell me in 10 years if you're still training." Like.
And was that from the parkour community, those
Yeah.
comments?
And they are still hating a lot of times.
But I don't think it's not the whole Spain community, right? It's like almost the older community, is it?
Yeah.
Because
most
now
of the
you've
time.
got the new generation of like Andreas and who's this stride guy? I forgot his name. There's a
Beto?
new
Beto. could be.
Beto, yeah, full sender. So there's a new generation in. So this is actually quite a common phenomenon. You had it here in the UK, in France, in Australia, where this older generation who trained a style more similar to like the David Bell style, a lot of conditioning, a lot of strength work, and less pushing yourself mentally to do these crazy things. And unfortunately, which is fine, you know, it's fine to have that more conditioning based style. But unfortunately, they would often disparage people who were pushing the limits of the sport in terms of what they were capable of, which there are dangers for, but it doesn't mean you're not ready for it necessarily. It's just the sport can be a bit extreme. And now that's becoming more glorified with things like capstone. Like if you've seen the capstone videos out of Australia, out of the UK as well, these are top level athletes, but they're really pushing the limits as well. So they're accepting an element of risk. So I am of the opinion that usually it's almost out of a kind of, maybe in one sense a jealousy, and in another sense like that's not the way they train parkour, so they don't view it as like a safe way to train parkour. But I'm very supportive of people pushing the limits, just doing things within their ability. You know what I mean? So in terms of like explaining that from the perspective of like, are they worried about them getting hurt, or are they insecure about their own ability that they're not? So there's some nuance to it. You know what I mean? And
the sport's changing.
It is situational as well. Like some situations, you do need to tell people to maybe tone it down a bit if you think they might hurt themselves. But I think usually, on the whole, it's a difference in mindset where they're
Because I don't think they were worried about if I gonna be okay. Because I do remember in that time, our group it was called Big Water Family, and then it's appear another team that is called What, you know
Team what? Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
they were always like worried about us, like if we're gonna hurt ourselves. But I do remember that we used to post one video, and they used to like critique that video, and then they used to do like one day after, or 2 days, or 1 week after the same job, but they try to do it better, like than us,
Yeah.
you know. So I do remember one of my friends. Do you remember this spot called Pyramides, with a lot of woods?
Oh, so the sticks.
Yeah.
So there's a famous spot in Madrid in a park where I wish we had more of this in the UK and Australia for that matter. Some places, you know, they have like some places invest in really safe playgrounds.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of like a bit of danger in playgrounds, you know, learn, you know, risk management as a young kid. Anyway, this famous spot is like all these logs like put on top of each other, so you can kind of walk and climb along it and jump along them. And there's soft rocks below it. It's a famous spot in Madrid where a lot of people have really trained their skills. The spot pyramids. Yeah.
So one of my friends, he tried to do double front flip from the wall, the small wall. So
What?
He did
From like a 1 foot wall.
Yeah. And he did it, and he landed on his ass like.
Yeah. But it's soft enough to do that without getting hurt.
It was nice.
To clarify.
It wasn't like dangerous.
Yeah.
So they started to criticize. That's bad. You shouldn't like. Yeah, but they like I think it was 1 week or maybe less than a week, and then Schiffer. He came and he did it, and he did it well, and he landed like, oh, this is the way that you have to do it.
Yeah.
And most of the people, they say, no, that's in your imagination, a lot of things, But then it happened that we started to do more jumps, and I do remember like week after, they post on their Instagram the same clip, but better done.
Drama.
So
Schiffer at the time, to clarify, this guy, they're full-time YouTubers now. They do a bit of parkour, but at the time, Schiffer had undoubtedly the strongest legs in parkour. Like this guy's actual physical capability was unbelievable. Like he could jump like insane. So it's not really
but it
fair
was
of him to
crazy
criticize other people like that in that sense, because his ability in terms of just the amount of spring he could generate was so much higher than anyone else.
No, but it was crazy because we were training like for 3-4 years in that moment, but he was training for at least like 15 already, like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So it was impossible like to have the same level as him in that moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are no points. I don't know, like
Yeah.
it was crazy for me. I was super angry with that things.
So they weren't that supportive.
No.
I feel like here they definitely are a lot more, you know, I mean, in that regard.
And also, I do remember another video that I have in my mind. Like one of my friends, I don't know if you remember the Nuevos Ministerios, Azca.
Yeah, Nuevos Ministerios. Yeah, so it's a very central location to Madrid. Azca. Yeah, there's a good spot there with a lot of walls where people train often. Yeah.
So we try one big front flip, you know, the one that Johnny.
Yeah, to the there's a big
to
front
the
flip
big
over the red rails to the
no,
trees.
not that one. Another one is can I show you? Because I don't remember.
We won't be able to pull it up on the screen. Oh, I think I know the one you mean. Is it next to where I broke my leg? Or like screwed up my foot.
I don't
know.
remember.
But anyway, he did. He did. So Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny
But before Johnny was Isma.
So he did a big front flip.
Yeah. So Isma did a big front flip, and then the day after, Alfon. You know Alfon?
Alfon, another
from
guy
what?
from Madrid. Oh, Alfon from what? So another one of these what guys who are now full-time YouTubers.
So he came, and so I will say, Isma, he jumped. He was from a bench.
Yep.
A stone bench.
So this is Isma. He's from B-Water, your team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Isma did the jump from here on the bench, from the top of the bench.
From the top of the bench.
And the day after, Alfon came and he did it from the one step back.
From behind the bench, yeah.
Behind the bench. And then I do remember Johnny came and he make without touching the
Without
bench.
touching the bench. Okay, I get what you mean. So he did it from the
competition.
top, then he did it from a step up, Alfon,
Yeah.
and then Johnny, your friend from B-Water, did it from behind the bench.
Yes.
Johnny.
Competition.
Yeah. So this proper drama, isn't it?
So I do remember they were saying like, no, we are not criticism.
Competing,
So,
or?
yeah, no, we are not competing and
yeah.
that, but it was obvious.
Blatantly competing. That's funny. I didn't know about all this Spanish drama from back in the day.
crazy.
We're getting so much gossip on this podcast. It's a lot of fun. We love it. We love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So that was a big motivation to sort of move to London.
Yes, yeah.
So do you think parkour helped you settle in London then? The
Yes,
parkour
yes,
community?
definitely. I came for parkour, basically, because I wasn't comfortable in the parkour community in Spain, and I just decided I feel more comfortable here, and I moved it, and I like it. I started to work, and I started to do those things. And
How do you guys both find the quality of life here in London compared to Madrid in terms of like work and things like that? Like not even parkour. I'm just curious about it.
Yeah, I mean the salaries in Spain, they are so low. So even if you're working like in hospitality, because I've been working in hospitality, and for example, my salary for all the month was like not even part time. I can not denominate part time. That was full time, but it was like 600 like euros, around 700 euros. That here maybe it's 500 pounds for all the month. And here, if you work in hospitality, you're gonna get even a lot of more. So you can compare if you're working as another kind of like work. So you're gonna get more for sure. It depends, of course, but
But even though things are more expensive here, it's still like better in terms of saving money and
yeah, even it's quite difficult to save money
yeah, it's
here.
difficult.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's what I
Because
mean.
you
Yeah,
rent
because it's
in here
expensive.
and everything, but the quality of life I find much better than in Spain.
Okay, that's interesting. Despite the terrible weather.
Yes, but anyways, we like
Let's
the
not go
weather, I
there.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So do you get to go? Have you been back to Spain, to Madrid, to train recently?
Yes, we've been in October.
Has it changed?
It's changed, yeah, because, to be honest, the spots here in London, they are so big.
Oh yeah,
And so
definitely.
high the walls.
Yeah.
And when you go into Spain, for example, there is a spot in Madrid where it's called Simancas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots in just one
It's
area.
it's like a suburb.
Oh,
It
okay.
might be
Yeah.
the best suburb in Europe to train, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
I remember in the beginning, of course, for me, I felt that like so big and the walls, yeah, they are small. But in the beginning, I thought that it's like the worst spot. But now when I'm going there, everything is like very small, very
Yeah.
slow,
That's great though. That's a sign
Very
of
soft.
progression.
Yeah.
very soft,
That's
and very dry.
yeah. True. That's the thing I struggled with when I came here from Australia. It's not like even when it's not raining, so most of all the grass is wet, or if there's moss in the walls are always wet, even
Yeah.
if it's the sun's out.
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand that. Like,
Oh, it's
yeah,
always wet.
yeah. So I mean, in my opinion, like London has great spots, but I do like the spots in Madrid better. Like, what would you
Really?
say? Do you prefer London or?
I do prefer London spots, but because of the weather, of course, Madrid is better.
Okay. Yeah.
And has the community changed any in Madrid, do you think?
There's a new
mean-
generation, right?
Yeah,
That's the thing, because most of the people I used to know, they stopped training. So there are new generation, and I don't know them, so I can't say like if they change or they not. The only people that I know from Spain now, just not only from Madrid, I know Andres, Beto.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That are the people that I train with now,
Yeah.
and I know they have another mindset. But I don't know if the people still have the other mindset. I don't
Where's
know.
Andreas? Valencia or
Sevilla?
Sevilla? Okay, Andreas is the king of 360 precisions. So jumping, full spin, stick. Yeah, so he's really good at that. I think Star have made some videos with him. And then Beto is from near Bilbao, right? Where?
He's from Burgos, I think.
Burgos.
Yes.
Burgos. That's
Yeah.
close to Bilbao, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close
Yeah.
to Bilbao. it's
Yeah,
close
and
to Bilbao.
he's very much pushing like a bit more of a accepting a bit of risk style. He does really big like dive kongs and those kinds of movements. So there is a bit of a shift, especially with the younger generation in Spain, to really push the limits. I mean, Spain have always famously had like the best technique in parkour in terms of like sticking jumps and real control. But now the new generation still have that, but they're pushing the limits
Further, yeah.
in addition to that. Luckily, they're smaller. Because if they were my size, it wouldn't even be close. You know what I mean? Like in London, they still tend to jump a little bit farther just because they're slightly bigger boys. Like, you know what I mean? And girls, to be fair. So yeah, we'll keep them small and technical, and then we can still have a chance to, this is a thing actually. The Spain-England rivalry is a bit of a thing. I know at Next Gen we had the event I ran around my film. We had a big stick competition, and then the final five, there was an Australian, a British guy, a German, and 2 Spanish guys. Oh, it was those 2 actually. It was Beto and Andreas that made. But Arthur still won from Fat after a very close competition. So there's a good rivalry there. That's why I was
So why are they so
asking
good at
about
that
this.
in Spain? Where does that come from?
I think it is because about the criticism about the technique.
a
So we
culture.
always focus on technique. Like you should
Right.
have the cleanest technique
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
because
Okay,
otherwise the people are gonna say no, that's bad.
Yeah, it's an emphasis, it's a culture, and then you have real leaders in that culture. Like, I mean, if you look at if you
we
look
have
at like
Cosmin, for example.
Exactly.
He's really nice. It's like one of the best, I think,
Yeah.
in technique.
so this is a guy from Cosmin. You could argue has the best parkour technique in the world, and it's a very strong argument. And he used to train at this spot sticks all the time for hours, and he really incredible precision and control. And he's a big leader in the community. He's also quite a well-known YouTuber. So people look up to that, and then from that you develop a culture. I think it often comes down to individuals that then the culture comes from. So obviously here we have Daniel Ilabaka back in the day, he's touted as like the greatest of all time, you know, from at least from his era. He's well ahead of his time and very good and technical. And so from that, you look up to people like that, and then that develops a culture. So in Australia, we have Dom Tomato. So, you know, the culture's a bit different. But I think that's more or less why. But also actually in terms of, I think the Spanish are just generally, like actually from almost a, I don't know, physical standpoint, they're just very technically good athletes.
And you have Foski as well.
Yeah, Foski as well, exactly, incredible, and also Flo. But if you look at like where the Spanish succeed in sport, and like South Americans, who a lot of them who move to Spain, it's like tennis and like football, you know, like very technical sports. You know, they're not the biggest, like most like massive physical specimens, but the actual technical prowess and the speed is just. I just find it really interesting because different people from certain cultures, like you look at Japan, no one can get even close to Japan in twists, right? These guys
they're
weigh
crazy.
50 kilos and they
They
just
spin like
so there are like cultures are probably the bigger thing, but there definitely are like physical differences in different, you know,
Well,
different
you
types
play
of
to your
people.
strengths as well. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely do. You know, high hips, I just do big jumps. Like, but yeah, no, that's really interesting. Are there more women training in Madrid now, do you think, or?
Yeah, I saw that it's one. I mean, to be honest, I know just one,
Okay.
but I was training with her as well.
Jojo.
This the last time when I been there. But she's from Germany, I think.
Yeah, she's from Germany.
Who's that?
It's Jojo.
Jojo.
Yeah.
I think Instagram is Jojo El Walkie or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You know
she's
her?
training there.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, she moves to
she's
Madrid.
really, really good
Okay.
as well. She did big jumps as well.
Wow.
and
Okay. Yeah.
it's
But I
very
think it's
impressive.
the only one. who's
But I
training
think
now.
it's the only
The
one
only
right
well-known
now.
one.
in
maybe.
Madrid.
Yeah.
In
In
Madrid.
Spain, no, but Madrid.
So the sport isn't growing for women, particularly in Spain.
In Spain,
Madrid.
I think.
I mean,
Nice.
it is
No.
growing because you know in these competitions in
yeah.
parkour competitions.
Yeah.
There was
So it's more women coming now.
Yeah. In the
I
fake
don't know if
competitions. Yeah.
In the last one in Japan,
Yeah. Well,
eh,
Steffi normally competes. Who else competes for Spain?
now is Maria, the new girl,
I don't know
Maria or
them.
something like
Okay.
that,
For Spain.
from Spain.
Okay.
So and I know it's more women now starting to do parkour, maybe because of them.
Because of the competition.
Yeah, because of the competitions. 'Cause I remember the last competition we went.
Yeah,
There were
there
a lot of
was-
girls. Like I
yeah.
never have seen them, and there were
Yeah.
a lot of girls.
Yeah, and that is a good thing about these FIG competitions. They're really, because there are big opportunities there to go out on the world stage, compete and make good money. It's really pushing the level. Like, particularly recently, I saw like Ella Bucio from Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
she's doing like full in back outs now off bars. That's on hard
so
floor. That's a
great.
very recent move in parkour. Obviously, gymnastics on inside have been doing it for a long time. So that's definitely a positive side. I think because maybe there are less women, and so the ones that are in there at a good level really see the opportunity and really go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting progression to see in terms of the level, but then in terms of having a wider community of like lots of people training, not necessarily with the goal of going super hard. It's not the same as London. Because my opinion is that London is one of the best, if not the best, women's community in the world. Like, how would you rate that?
Yeah, I find here the women's community it's more like united, and in Spain, to be honest, I meet with other girls what they train in parkour, but they are not that much like I don't know how to explain that they training all together. So it's more like individually. Even me, when I was training parkour, I was like more on my side as well. So we don't used to meet like each other. More with who I was training with Steffi and Lucrezia, the Italian woman. But for the rest, even when we did the like competitions or something, we did the competition and like that's it.
Yeah.
It's a kind of, but here like you keep the contact and you go in training, or maybe no, in 1 month you don't go training, but anyways you meet each other, you training together.
So it's
And,
more
like,
sociable
yeah, it's
here.
more like
Yeah.
sociable. And I found like more like this.
Yeah, I think also it does a big XXL is probably a big part of that. If you have a big open gathering every week and just the culture, because there are some cities and maybe London used to be like this where a lot of people train in very small groups and don't really talk to each other. And it's like if you could get
That
them all
happened a
together,
lot.
it'd be insane. Like I don't know if you were in Madrid. I was in Madrid when Curvin came from Colombia, and everyone kind of got the word. This fantastic Colombian athlete who now lives in Spain. Everyone kind of got the word on the grapevine. And the next day in Simancas, there were like 150 people. I'd never seen so many people. But because there were a lot of people who do train, they just train in their groups.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to be able to unify them, like, and have a regular training session. You know, it's a hard thing to do. But anyone in one of those cities, do it. Give it a go. Once a month, once a week, whatever it is. And it'll grow over time. Like, yeah, it's cool to see. I wanted to ask about parkour teams, because obviously you ran a team called Be Water, Jordan, and now you have a team called Blent. You make content. I just wanted to get what's been your experience with that in terms of like the challenges of it, you know, running, like making a parkour team, and what could people expect, like if a young like couple of athletes are looking to get into it, like yeah, because you know I don't have a team, well, sort of, but yeah, I'm curious just your thoughts on that whole like journey. Because it's been a long journey for you, yeah.
I think for everyone who's wanting or willing to have a team that get money, I'm gonna say don't think on the money, because you're not gonna get that much money doing parkour as a team at
As
least.
a team, yeah.
So you should do it just for love, first of all, because you like it and you love it. And if you do it with love, you're gonna keep doing for a long time. Yeah. But my experience it is hard. It is hard because with the pass of the time, your friends as when you grow up, your friends gonna start to having responsibilities, work. Some of us gonna leave our houses. You are not gonna live with your families. You're gonna have to pay a rent. You're gonna have to do a lot of things.
Growing up.
Yeah, basically growing up. So you don't gonna have that much time for training. You're gonna find another friends. You're gonna start to doing another things. Maybe not sport. Maybe I don't know. Or you finish your studies and you want to start your own project. I don't know. So you're gonna have to be ready to your friends to start to doing another things, and maybe you get stuck or you get alone. You're gonna find out yourself alone in the future. So you have to have a lot of things in mind, and you have to be prepared, have to be ready, thinking that things could happen.
Yeah.
But always, I think you need to do one thing that Max told me before, like it's a good tip. You have to save clips for projects in the future, because if you are only posting on Instagram, I think that's never gonna work. Like, okay, you're gonna get views on Instagram, but if you are looking for money, that's just gonna help you with the views and get you make more known in the community. But that's it. You're not gonna get anything else apart from that. So if you want to get more money, you have to focus on merchandising or videos or big projects or assist to the parkour competitions.
I think the big projects are the ones that capture the attention of the parkour community. So like one way to, you know, it's not a career, but to make a bit of money as a parkour team is you kind of just sell your t-shirts and things. But the thing that makes people want to buy them, like a lot of people buy capstone merchandise, for example, and that's not really their career, but they just use it to fund the videos and make a little bit of money. But it's because the videos are insane, right? And they get the best athletes, they save the clips, and they go super hard. And suddenly it puts value. That's the value they put into like the brand that you then have in a t-shirt. Like people want to represent the capstone logo because of what it represents, and it represents the hardest, best parkour. So if you save clips for really impactful videos, you know, and this is what Team Fat from London did early back in the day, Storm, Farang, then at least within the community, you grow that way, right? And like you can build up a bit of buzz. And then if you want to really make a living like through YouTube and stuff, you need to get people that aren't in parkour and do videos every week, and that's a whole separate can of worms. But yeah, the saving clips thing is it's important. And I don't know, I think that's the stuff that really matters when you look back on what you've done in parkour and you see those banger videos that you saved clips for a year for, when you like tried your hardest. That's like, I know there's a certain nostalgia to it, you know what I mean? Because the Instagram stuff kind of disappears over time. Like,
Because I think it's more like about the culture, like parkour culture, more than the videos, you know? Because in your video, you tell a story, and I think you talk about the culture of parkour in a video, you know? Like, it's different, I don't know. But you should do like what he's been saying, like save videos and post a impactful video, and then you're gonna make maybe some money.
Or at least sort of get a bit of respect in the community. You know what I mean? Like we had Lucian and Ollie in here on the podcast, and they're starting a new team, Motion Sickness, to the new up and comers in London. And so it was Run London with the Kings of London. Fat pushed them out. Now they're the guys. Right now they're taking a bit of a break, and these are the new kids. So how do you really push into the space? You make a banger video, you get it out there, you got energy, you're young, you've got time to dedicate, you know. And I think that's just for yourself and the culture in terms of making an impact that way. It's an important thing to do for sure. But so it's hard because we've kind of established that a team isn't the best way to make money in parkour, but
definitely.
What do you think is? You know, is it coaching? Is it like what if you were trying to make at least somewhat of a career within parkour? Is there a way you'd more recommend than others, or it's a hard question because it's not an easy thing. There's no easy way, but
I think the easiest way is to be a coach. Because you get easy money being coaching parkour. So, but
it's the safest way, I guess.
Yeah, the safest way maybe.
More consistent to make money that way.
I think a lot of people, they now live from being a coach.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
most of the people that I know that they do parkour and they want to live from parkour, they coach. They have like in Spain we call asociaciones. I don't know how you call it here, associations. Or
like like a qualification or for no, a business like
something like
they have a coaching business. So they
basically. So most of them they live from doing coaching.
Yeah, I know that
basically.
a lot of the London guys do it as well. Arthur and Luke from Team Fat coach, and it's a good thing. It's definitely a good way to have a bit of money and also have time to train. And do something that's training focused. On the flip side of that, some people start gyms and really coach all the time, which is awesome. You've got a business, everything's around parkour, but there can definitely be an element of burnout.
You don't want to train and coach.
Yeah, you don't want to train full time.
Yeah.
And coach full time and train. It's quite hard to do.
Yeah. But as I know, most of the people that they coach lately, they start to hating do parkour. Because of they coach and they get
too
bored.
Much.
If it's too much, so it can be hard. Like there's anyone who can manage it, I really respect. Like particularly Sean Newsham from Street Monkeys, he coaches like 6 days a week, but he finishes and he goes and he trains and he's got this like awesome energy. You know what I mean? But it's a hard one. It's like what we were talking about on the podcast with Flora with stunts. You know, you can make a great career through stunts, but almost everyone who does it stop doing parkour on the streets and for videos and stuff because they just need to keep their body and their skills for that.
They stop as well.
Exactly. They stop doing parkour as we know it.
I do remember Remy. You remember Remy? Remy Girard from
MPO?
Yeah,
of course, from MPO, absolute legend of the game.
He was a legend doing parkour, but he started to do stunts and he just like stopped, not stop completely from doing parkour, but he keep his body for
he can't risk injury.
Exactly,
I guess.
And he was like he's one of the most hardcore guys to ever do it. He famously does like round off double backflip everywhere on concrete. This guy's there's a famous video called Ghetto Landing Project from back in the day. From MPO in Marseille, right? In Marseille, but they do really hardcore, pushing the limit, like dangerous stuff. So of course he can't do that now. He's in Cirque du Soleil right now.
Yes.
Cirque du Soleil with Thomas. So this is an interesting one as well because Toma from, I don't know his last name, but from MPO, from the same team. He's the new generation. He's he almost like, so he was either top 3 or number 1 for the biggest Kong in parkour. He's really pushing it, doing awesome stuff on the street. But now Remy's gotten him this job at Cirque du Soleil. I'm wondering if he's going to do less. It's a fantastic career for him, you know, awesome for him. But selfishly for us, I want to see him do cool stuff on the streets. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes, right? Because he's still like, he's 19, 20, he's super young.
super young.
You know, and he's building this great career, but also like, there is that trade-off, you know what I mean? Of having to save your body for the career. So no, it's a hard question.
He's probably training pretty hard for Cirque du Soleil, I would have thought.
He is. So I see it on his Instagram story every day. It's incredible what they do. Like the hoop diving, the round off backflips through hoops. And to do it, it's one thing to do it, right, in the training, but then to do it live in front of
people.
Yeah, it's so impressive.
And nail it every time.
Do you know anyone from the gymnastic world that's gone into that kind of performing?
Quite a few actually end up in Cirque du Soleil. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's a good way to go if you've kind of done the Olympics or missed out on the Olympics. It's a good career.
It's like one of the opportunities that you can go into. No, that 100%. I mean, it is cool. Pasha used to do it back in the day, like a super high achieving parkour athlete. He did it with, who did he do it with? Zlat, I think, Shade Zlat. So a few people have gone into that, and it's like totally fair play. But it would be cool moving forward to see more opportunities for them to just make money doing parkour on the streets.
Yeah, some people that they do like shows on the street as well.
Yeah.
And they live from that.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I think they do that, the MPO guys, but now they've gone Hollywood.
And they used to do as well before the cirque and everything.
Actually, when I went with them to Marseille, I saw some non-parkour guys, but like acrobatic guys doing that on the street, and they were good.
Busking.
Busking, exactly. And that they did some of that. That's funny enough. That is a way to make some money through parkour.
Yeah.
Like I went to Galway and saw like a parkour friend I knew from New Zealand doing it in the streets, you know, and they'd make some money, but it's definitely like a stage in your life. It's not really a career, but it's, you know, I mean,
but I
something.
think at the end of that, you stop doing parkour, you know, because you get, or maybe you get tired or you do too much physics, so you don't want to be training after that. So I think that's why, as we've been talking before, one other ways to keep doing parkour is or you find a part-time job or you start your own business or that things, you know, because
exactly,
otherwise you're not gonna get time to train parkour when you get older.
Yeah, it takes so much energy to do it at like a high level. But that is a fantastic segue because that's what you guys have done, right? You're starting your own business at the moment and trying to make, you know, your lifestyle work to be able to train and not have to dedicate all your time to work. So, I mean, how's that going? Like,
it is hard, and I'm lucky because I have Adelina with me, and she always helped me, and she is very supportive. She have faith on me. She trusts on me, and also my sister does. So I have both of them with me, helping me and everything. So even if it's hard, the first year it went like super bad.
Yeah.
So what was the business that you started with in the first year?
So the first business that we start with is a studio agency, like a branding agency.
Okay.
We do marketing, branding, graphic design, videos, photography, everything like with the creative. And this year we start with another business that it works. It is like the redesign. No, how do you say like
web design? Or?
Remodelation of houses.
House remodeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we painting,
renovation.
Yeah, renovations. That's the word. Yeah, renovations.
Are you guys still doing a tap studio as well? Oh,
yeah.
You changed it now, yeah.
So we are changing now. We're changing the name. We're changing the branding. We're changing everything because now we have another point of view. So we're gonna wait until next year for.
What is the business? You know, plug yourself. Like, what are you guys doing now? Like,
in the top studio or in the other one?
Well, then, what's the new thing that you guys are doing?
So we're gonna combine these both things, like the renovations with the tap studio.
Okay.
And what I want to do is offer a full design. You know, because we want to do like. Interiors design as well, so we can use the painting and that things and the designing. And as I've been traveling a lot, I know a lot of people. So I know a lot of people. For example, I know Max, he does video production. I know Manuel. You know Manuel?
Yeah.
So he has his own.
All the equipment.
He has all the equipment and he rent the equipment. He has a rental studio. I know more people. They do like, for example, Ronnie. He do graphics.
Yeah.
And, well,
So like you're looking to offer like a holistic thing from like designing the actual for businesses.
Yeah,
yes.
So designing like the storefront, but also like the marketing and like
I want to design like
Everything.
everything.
Wow.
The whole
That's pretty
branding.
cool.
The whole like for massive brands. You know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Want to do it all. Yeah. So that's the new point that we are working on.
Okay. I respect it so much. Always on like the hustle,
Thank you,
trying to
man.
do new things. Like, no, it's super cool.
But it's still got that creative side, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. That's the
everything.
idea and. Everything is because I want to train parkour.
Yeah.
So I want the time for training and always everything I start because I wanted to do it parkour and get more time. And it is working because I can manage my time and I, for example, now in the renovations, yeah, I have I have more friends that they are from Spain who lives here, and I talk with them and I hire them to work with us. So when they are working, I can go and travel, for example.
Sounds
You
bad,
can pay
but
them
it's
to do
good.
the work
Yeah.
whilst
So
you
they
go
work
train.
and I'm traveling, doing
No, that's the dream when you
Yeah.
build
Yeah, that's
something.
the thing. So that's why I.
Yeah, when
I
you build
start
something, you get clients, hire people. I mean, that's running a business. But it's interesting because it's actually such a parkour relevant discussion because you need that flexibility going into your adult life to be able to train. Like I do a similar thing. I work as a freelance filmmaker and I work for Parkour UK 2 days a week. And that way I have enough flexibility to manage my time, and train parkour, go to the gym at like off-peak times sometimes. And yeah, it's a hard thing to be able to do. But I wanted to ask as well, because it's a very scary thing to take on this, right? It's, like just starting in your own business, moving to another country. There's a lot of risk involved. And I think that's a big transferable skill from parkour. So I wanted to ask for you both, what, if any, transferable skills do you feel like you got from parkour? So things from doing parkour, you're better at, like you're more confident or you're more risk taking or that you can take into your other elements of life.
Yeah, I think the risk taking it helps a lot as well because it's everything in the life. It's like a jump.
Yeah.
So when you decide something that you're gonna jump somewhere, or you're going, if you know if you stop in there, you can just So if you're going, you can land like well or no. But anyways, that helps a lot because you're always thinking that you know what, if you can imagine that. It's absolutely possible for sure. So the risk taking from parkour, it helps you a lot, and the confidence about in yourself, because you think that if you can manage a jump, that can, I don't know, decide your life as well. So it's a lot of things in your life when you decide them, you are really, really confident that it can work, like for sure. I did a lot of things how that cannot work.
It sounds
So,
like
yeah.
the networking's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
networking helps.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
One of the most helpful thing, I think.
Yeah.
There are so many talented people in parkour who do all kinds of things, creatives, and that is really useful.
And I'm sure Max knows because he traveled even more than me. So he have a big network,
Yeah.
for sure. And also, I think the skill that I developed when I started to coaching, because I always been super shy, but when I started to coaching, I have to start to speak in front of a lot of people. So that helped me when now I'm going to sales my business or something. It's more easy for me. So I think that helps me a lot as well. And it is from parkour.
That's the number one fear that people have in general,
Yeah.
public speaking.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So getting over that. I mean, yeah, it was when you start parkour, like you're so like self-conscious, and now we just go out and just jump on walls in the middle of the street and just couldn't care less what people think.
Yes.
That is, and occasionally you have altercations with security, and like sometimes people yell at you, and you get used to dealing with that stuff. Not super often, but it happens, and you get used to dealing with that, and it does build like a bit of a bit of armor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think you
yeah.
become a bit stronger,
Thick-skinned.
thick-skinned, precisely. So that's a really interesting one. I wanted to also ask about like training mindsets, because Jordan and I have like a very similar training mindset. We try to like really push ourselves and do the hardest stuff. But what's your training mindset like, Adelina? Like, what do you try to get out of a session? Is it just you want to have fun with your friends? You want to socialize? Do you want to really get the next jump? Like, I don't know, when you go training, what are you hoping to get out of it? Yeah.
So basically, in the beginning, I was training more for fun, but after a long time, I just realized that when I find like a challenge, I just want to reach it. So I think for now, my mindset it improves a lot because in the beginning I was more scared of everything, but now I just want to jump more and more every time.
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
it's goal oriented. You want to do the bigger jumps now, and
Yeah.
like you want to really see the improvement.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you've been improving a lot recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yes. I don't know why, but in the last few months, I realized that I just was training a lot, and I don't know from where, I just also because we've been training a lot. So to be like doing parkour in a couple, it's super funny as well, because when we are not training with nobody else, we're going to train. So we are improving by ourselves as well. So that helps also, and yeah, basically.
And do you think if you stop improving, do you think you would lose the love for it a little bit?
I don't think so.
No.
No. I'm always trying to be better, to reach the jumps much better. Even when I'm going to do parkour in one spot, even if I reach that jump already, I'm trying to make it and improve it again. And when I feel, because was sometimes, even now I've been injured with my heel, so I couldn't jump for like a couple of months. And I was thinking in my head all these 2 months that I'm gonna lose a little bit of level for sure. But when I went back, it was like, oh, it's all right, it's still there. But anyways, always I know that it's gonna be always better. And if it's going worse, so just I have to train more, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely. How would you describe your mindset then, Jordan? Like, when you're going for a training session, like, what are you trying to get out of it? Like,
Lately, it changed a lot because it's been super hard because not a lot of people is training now in London. At least not the people that I used to train with. For example, last year, the fat guys were always traveling. Also, Max, he's always out of UK.
yeah, that's true.
Out of service.
Out of service. So I didn't really have anyone for training with me. So I only have two options. It was training with Adelina or training by myself. So I've been more focused on to going on gym.
Yeah, I think that what helped me a lot as well to get more level, because when I'm training with Jordan, I would like to do like not hit jumps like the crazy ones, but I would like to have more his level, because it's more funny when you can do like all the jumps together, or for example when he's doing like all standing press to stick or something like that. So you are pushing and pushing always. So that helps me a lot to get better. So,
So he pushes you and you improve because of that.
Yeah.
So I've been more focused on gym, and now since Danny moved here, I started to train more often because now I have Danny for training.
You got that training partner to really push you. Yeah.
And so now I think that I've been lately only focused on going gym and get stronger for the time that I could go and send it again, because also I've been injured.
Yeah.
I dislocated my shoulder, my clavicle and my shoulder. So it took me like 1 year, and now I'm recovered, but I lose all my strength. So I've been doing like rehab and everything. And now we are not filming yet, but we want to wait for 1 year, and we're going to make a project with Danny for Blend. That's why we are not posting anything as well. And we are working on that now.
Okay, cool. So now you're like, I do the similar thing. I don't train that much in winter. You build your strength and stuff, and then the confidence comes back. In summer, like, you're trying to do some big achievements again, or?
Yeah, definitely. The first of all now is I want to get stronger as ever I've been.
Yeah.
And then I want to send the biggest jumps I ever sent. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, no, we do. It's especially in this part of the world, it's quite seasonal.
Yeah.
Like a lot of sports are, you know what I mean? This is kind of the off season. Because training outside is hard. It's cold, it's wet, and you only get a couple of hours of sunlight. So we kind of like enter a holding pattern, get strong, and then unleash later on. No, that's super cool.
How have you come back from injury? How have you found that?
This been the worst injury for me I ever had, because it came like, it wasn't only my shoulder and clavicula, it was my scapula, my chest and everything. So when I started, it was like 8 months after I started to go in gym, and I started to do some weightlifting and everything, and then I started to feel like more dislocated. We went to the hospital, and they told me the only way to get better was getting a surgery. But I didn't want to get a surgery, so I keep going on gym. And I started to feel better. I don't feel any pain now.
Oh, nice.
But it's so annoying. So I know I might have to get a surgery, but I'm gonna wait until we finish the project, and then I'm gonna have a surgery.
Because it's not gonna take
You might need multiple by then.
So
Get it done in one hit.
Yeah,
exactly. Actually, though, that's interesting, because does it worry you, that injury specifically? Because one of the things you have a real aptitude for is the dive kongs, you know, and so you use your arm. So is that like, is it harder mentally now?
Yeah, it's super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard, because my best thing for me, like one of the things that I most enjoy doing it, is the dive kongs. And I feel like I don't gonna say comfortable. I don't feel like secure when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So now I stopped doing compresses, stopped doing dive cons, and it's the thing that I most enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So we will see how it gets in this year. Because last year was super weak, and this year...
That's a hard one to deal with as well. Because, for me, if I had that injury, I wouldn't be as affected, because like you enjoy those 2-3 movements, I do have like just my jumps and my strides, you know what I mean? Running prees, exactly. But that'd be a real tough one. Well, I hope it goes well. Like I hope you can get the confidence back as well, not just the body, because that's the other hard thing. So we talked a lot about how like difficult it is to sort of make parkour work with an adult life and make a living from it. And what I'm wondering is, what do you guys want to see from the sport? Like, where do you want to see it go? What opportunities do you want it in the Olympics? Do you want to see more opportunities to make money from videos? Like, what would you hope that happens to parkour over the next few years?
I would like that the community grows more and get like more views maybe, or grow as a team and everything. But what I've been seeing lately is like the community is getting smaller. I don't know. I'm seeing like the people is losing the interest in parkour.
Okay. Internationally, you mean?
Internationally, I when every time that I go on YouTube, I see like the people is not posting that much videos as before. Fat guys, for example, they stopped completely. Like
it goes through waves, doesn't it? And it's in a bit of a down now. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
I'd say it's kind of a generational thing. So you need like a good generation that create great videos and inspire the next generation to do it. Yes. And so in London, for example, it was the Run London generation inspired the fat generation. And now like the fat generation, and this is in other countries as well, but the example here is they're starting to, live their adult lives a bit more. And so they're not making as much content and things. So it's up to the next generation to get in. And we haven't seen as big of a next generation as we would have liked, especially internationally. But there's places where it's growing and there's places where it's dropping off. But I agree overall, like when we were training, like getting into it like 6-7 years ago, it was more prevalent YouTube content from people. Granted, who weren't making money off it, so they're in that stage of life where they can do that. And now it seems to be there's less. So we're hoping that there's a new wave. In the UK, London has always been the leader, and it's dropping off now. But up north, there's a lot of people picking it up. So,
where?
Like the Team Reality guys, like John Cleve. Have you seen? So John Cleve from up north. Have you seen his video, Cleve 3?
No.
So he's flying under the radar, this guy. I'll give him a shout out because he's an absolute weapon. He did the Sheffield jump I did before me and better than me as well. Not many people know that. He did it super, super clean. But he's also got like double flips, free earnings. And there's a whole community up north that I guess they're not really getting huge views and stuff yet, but they're really pushing it. So I guess we can hope for the next wave. And then we as Parkour UK are going to try and make that happen from a younger generation, from schools and that part of the UK, and then hopefully in sort of 5 or so years, we see like a big influx. But it does just come down to participation, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So what age do you think people get into parkour at the moment? What age would you say?
I would say like maybe 12, 14, around that age.
Yeah, that's when I got into it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I start super late. I start with 18.
Wow. Oh, okay.
18. Yeah. But I think that what you're saying is true. Like, we don't have like how you say, like someone that inspire you.
Yeah.
Because for example, I used to watch when I was younger a lot of store videos.
Yeah.
But the last videos that they've been posting, I haven't watched it because I've been losing the interest on the videos that they be creating. So I don't know.
That also happens as you get older, right? I find the same. Like, I'm still interested in parkour videos, but when I was a kid, I would watch them all 20 times. And it does kind of happen. But I think Stora are getting a lot of people into parkour, particularly in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen with the fat videos. I used to watch the fat videos. I used to enjoy all of the fat videos. Even
So it's the
now.
style, like...
Yeah, maybe it's the style.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for example, in Spain, you don't have like anyone posting like videos on YouTube. You don't have like inspiration. So this
You
time
need to see it.
when we went to Madrid in October, I saw like the community got super small. Like the other times when I used to be in there, like you can find like 20 people training outside everywhere in any spot. But this time they just came because I went and they were my friends. But they told me like anyone is training, no new generations, no new people.
Yeah,
Do you think people are perhaps going to gyms more? Do you think that's happening? Rather than out on the street, do you think they're gravitating
Could
towards
be.
gyms?
I
maybe?
mean, like I know the kids, they are going more to the gym because now you have gyms. Before you didn't have gyms.
Yeah.
In some countries, that's very true.
Yeah.
I don't know about the UK and Spain as much, but like in the US and stuff, Holland, Sweden,
But
And I
what
guess
know
it's
is,
not as visible, is it, when you're
course.
training in a gym than when you're out on the street?
Yeah, but what I know is that I haven't seen that much content creators as you could find before.
Yeah.
Because before you knew like a lot of teams, Watt, Fast, Store, Motus Projects, I don't know,
Farang,
a lot
Storm.
of teams, MPO, and they all create a lot of videos like they were like legendary videos. But now it completely disappeared. Like only Capstone maybe.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that you might be right. Like the actual participation is dropping a little bit, but there are still like a very hardcore group so the actual skill level and the progression of the sport is skyrocketing in terms of like the real people that are going for it. But maybe participation's down. The other thing with the content is there's a few things. One thing is in the YouTube guidelines, there's a specific thing that says like rooftop parkour. Like I dropped a YouTube video a couple of days ago talking about the biggest drops that were done. Got like yellow monetization, which basically means it's demonetized straight away. So there's that working against us.
Okay. Yeah,
the other thing is the proliferation of Instagram. A lot of people just opting to go straight to there instead of saving for big YouTube videos. And it's just a lot of work. And then people getting older and the lack of a new generation.
Also, I think is one of the problems could be that now as everyone like being that good, like they've been risking a lot. Now every time if you want to get more I don't know, views, I don't know how to say that, like
the standard's too high.
The stand is too high, so you need to risk even more than before.
So with Capstone, like
for example,
how are you gonna beat that? Like you gotta try and
now if you want to impress someone or if you want to stand out from the other teams, you need to be like crazy, like amazing. Otherwise you're not gonna get any interest in your
or it's different
thing.
That's it. That might be why, like, some places, like in the US particularly, they're moving away from like big, crazy tricks. Except there's a group of competitive freerunners who do that, but then there's a lot of more emphasis on like creative dancing style movement and innovating in that space because they know they can't step to us. They're not going to jump further than us here in the UK. They can't step to us. They know they're not going to beat Ellis, in the competitions. They can't step to him. So, but people want to do something new. They want to create. They want to innovate. So they're innovating in that direction now instead. Because I agree. It's hard when you don't feel like you're covering new ground, I suppose, and you're doing something different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. So how about you guys? We've covered it a bit, but any specific goals over the next few years? Like, in terms of movement, in terms of, I don't know, your business? Like, where are you looking to take your next few years?
I'm starting
This
now.
get interesting.
So we don't used to think about that, but I think maybe we're gonna start to study this next year.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, for example, also we are not running any business with that, but I'm dedicated to do like sewing clothes and
Yeah?
everything. So now I would like to learn more and everything.
Okay.
So yeah, my first one.
There's
if
actually a
it's
guy
possible.
from parkour who quit parkour, but who does that for full time. Do you know?
I know that guy from
Jack. He used to be in Broome, and Garm Goblin is his name online.
I know.
He runs a very successful
Yeah, I-
business doing that now. So it's interesting that you
I
mentioned
saw
that.
you
Yeah.
his videos
Yeah.
doing sewing.
Maybe, yeah.
And I told you this guy used to do parkour before, and he's so nice.
Yes,
Just
yes,
on the
I
topic of
remember.
like people in parkour do these side hustles, these creative businesses, and I think he's turned it into quite a big business. He sent a lot of things to influencers in the US, and most of his sales have happened there. But that's super cool. That's super cool to hear.
Yeah, so first of all, I think for me personally, it's that one, because I never studied for that. Basically in Spain, what I study is for like nursing care assistant or houses care assistant or something like that. It's in English, but I've been working for 3 years maybe in Spain, and I just left. And when we came here, for what I came basically, and even I bring my sewing machine, it was for that, because I wanted to improve, to make more things and learn. So yeah, that's my first one.
So you're going to study
personally.
for that? You want to go to uni for
I
that?
would like to study fashion design.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think this is the best city in the world to study fashion design.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Like,
Definitely up
I
there.
think it actually is the fashion capital of the world. Like,
You have Milan.
okay, yeah, Milan and then New York again, and then here. But like, yeah, this,
We're up there.
we're up there. I met a lot of fashion students when I was at uni. Yeah. It's
But I think in England it's like more easy to get into like to the study things, because
the study
there is
pipelines.
more like finance support as well. in
yeah,
the-
exactly. Yeah,
So it's more easy when you're coming from another country as well. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
you can get the loans and yeah.
Yeah, basically. And
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's very
But
exciting.
this year, we're gonna work
Yeah.
on that, and we're gonna go work more on our
the-
business.
Yeah.
And with
That's
the
what's
project
gonna help
that
us
I wanna do with Danny.
The video project. Yeah.
The
Is
video
it just the
project.
two of you that want to save
Yeah,
clips?
just two of
for a year
us.
for Blend.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Because Hector,
Yes. Yeah.
he's injured as well.
Oh yeah, he's a really fantastic talent. Where does he
His
live
technique
now in
is
Spain?
really nice. He lives in Valencia.
Valencia. This is the absolute archetype of like a top tier technical Spanish guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you trying to convince him to move to London as well?
I tried a lot of times,
Yeah, he does this with everyone.
but this guy is
Join
in
the
love with
party.
his small town because he
Okay.
lives in a town, and he lives with he loves the nature.
Okay.
So he has the nature. He has his house.
Yeah, Essex doesn't quite hit the same.
Yes. So he's gonna come, but just for visit and stay with us. But he don't wanna move to.
Nah, you need to embrace the hate a little bit if you come to London. You know what I mean? Like just the big city, like.
I will.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my idea. Our idea is like, I don't know if you have seen my Instagram lately, but I stopped post everything
For a
like,
while, yeah.
I'm not posting like stories. I'm not posting videos. I'm not posting anything. I put my account on private.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want to use that account anymore. So
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is I want to delete that account. I want to start again, and I want to become more on a content creation.
Okay.
So I want to talk about like the business thing. I want to talk more about
Interesting.
parkour. I want to do more videos, better content. So what we've been saying, like as I see, like no people is creating content for parkour,
Yeah.
and for everything for more things. I want to start again. I want to change some
Okay.
things.
Clean
That'd be
slate.
cool. That'd be cool. You don't think you can do it with your existing account? You don't think you can rebrand?
I don't think so, because I don't want to post only about parkour.
Yeah.
And my actual audience is only parkour.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that is a
All
good
my
point.
friends are
You get
parkour,
stuck
so-
in these niches, and often it
Yeah.
is better to restart than create content that your existing audience isn't going to like. Because if your
Yeah.
existing audience doesn't like them, the platform doesn't show it to new audiences.
Right.
We see this a
okay,
lot with
yeah.
YouTube. Like you get some big parkour channels that did like POVs, GoPro in the mouth videos back in the day in like superhero costumes. And then they make, so the Pawson twins did this. They got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, 30 million on some views. Then they made some parkour vlogs and they get like less than 2,000 views because their audience subscribe for the other stuff.
Right.
So it's a tough world. And if you want to make different content, you need to do a very, very gradual transition.
You need to find your niche, and
Yeah.
the parkour people is not only my only niche.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yes.
problem, because
Yeah.
all of my friends, they do parkour basically. So I want to reach more people
Yeah.
with different content. For example, graphic design or how would you say, like business things, like
Yeah.
inspirational things.
Yeah,
like
business, I don't know, advice, or there's one person that does do that. Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And Giles does that. I don't know if you watch his stuff. He has Giles, who used to run Modus, and he works for Stora now. He does little business things on his Instagram and YouTube sometimes as well. So it'd be good to have a look at him.
But also I wanna keep posting parkour.
Of course. Yeah.
Definitely, because it's the main thing for me.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wanna change my account. I wanna change a lot of things. So that's what I'm gonna be working this year.
Awesome, mate. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
busy.
Always working.
Always hustling. No, I respect it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of hustle going on. You can definitely see how parkour has bled over into that mindset and that way of life. Like, if you weren't doing parkour, I think you'd be living a different life in terms of your career and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, and also because I think like we inspire a lot of people with our acts.
Yeah.
So I want to, because I know a lot of as I used to be a coach, I know a lot of people that the new generation that I used to coach, they stop in, I don't know, like maybe because they feel dangerous or I don't know, but I want to inspire them. Like I want to change my body completely. I want to change my parkour. I want to do like a lot of different things, a big change. So I want to everyone see that I'm gonna disappear. Oh, sorry. I disappeared completely already for a year, so I want to appear again and show that like they can do everything that they want.
Jordan 2.0.
Amazing.
I mean, look, it's impressive. You know, move to a different country, like, you know, build a new business there, like incredibly like improve your parkour, do all this stuff, create content, like that's awesome. It's really awesome stuff, guys. Like, thanks so much for coming on. Like, it's been so good to have you. Yeah, it's so cool to hear from like a parkour couple who are also entrepreneurs, who are also training hard, who also live in different country they're from. Like, yeah, cheers for coming on. On that point, like we have a lot more content. We got an event calendar. We got all kinds of good stuff on the Parkour UK website. So jump over there, have a look. Get inspired, you know, if you're not already. And we'll see you in the next one. Train safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.